Whew. I've been waiting a long time for this. I've been waiting a long time for it. You don't know how long I've been waiting for this. Whew, I'm about to make a name for myself here. I've been waiting a long time. 7 to 10. I don't know how long Daredevil ended. But yes, I was a frequent watcher of Daredevil every season to the last. And I remember the time where the last Daredevil season came out and they dropped it off. And then right after that they announced, well, I think they had Luke Cage, then the last season of Iron Fist. I think the last season of Iron Fist was when they officially announced it that they're canceling all the shows. That fucking crushed me. As a teenager, that shit crushed me. And I never thought I will see this shit again. This has been my most anticipated Marvel shit ever. Ever. Daredevil, Born Again, has returned. What's going on? It's your boy D-Rose LS1 back with some more videos, and we are here with Daredevil Born Again Episode 1 review. Initial thoughts, how I feel. Do I like it? Do I dislike it? Does it hold the same feel as the Netflix show? First thing I want to do is the approval clap. I didn't get to episode 2 yet. I'm going to do episode 2 after this. I'm going to watch episode 2 after this. Daredevil Born Again. So, this is my review. I'm just, I'm lost for words because, man, I've been waiting for this for so long. I've been waiting for this. You don't know how long I've been waiting for this. And it's more refreshing because I never thought this was going to come back. I didn't think this was going to come back. And it has. And my favorite character is about to come back again, the Punisher. The Jessica Jones and everybody else is about to come back. This shit feels unreal. It feels unreal. I never thought we were going to have these niggas actually in the MCU canon. Actually. So, let me get into the review. Alright, so, first off the bat, the first 15 minutes of this shit was fucking bonkers. This shit was nuts. And one thing I want to say, there's two things. And it's kind of weird. This feels like, this season of this show feels like it's directly telling you that this is a new season of Daredevil. Because most of the shit that goes on, like, I'm going to say this. If you go into this show without knowing anything, it still hits, but it doesn't hit the same as if you already know what's going on and the history between these characters and what goes on throughout these Netflix shows. And the Punisher producer, I think he expected niggas that already watch the show to be like, jump into this. This is a new season of fucking Daredevil. Because this shit, it goes at a breakneck pace. That is a good thing because this show is expected for you to already know these characters. If not, it can feel kind of weird, but you still kind of understand what's going on because they identify certain characters. Me as a frequent Daredevil watcher, and I recently just watched Daredevil again, and I was a frequent watcher when the shit came out. I was a huge fan of the Netflix series. When niggas was talking about all this fucking CW, all this bullshit, I was watching the Netflix show. Like, I was a huge Punisher and Daredevil fan. So, let me get back to it. Let me stop getting off track. But this feels like they're directly inserting you into a new season of Daredevil. It feels right after what happened at the end of the final season of Daredevil on Netflix. So, at the end of this Netflix season of Daredevil, Matt Foggy and Karen, Matt Foggy and Karen announced that they were going to have a new law office. In the beginning of the show, they showed the law office. It is Murdoch, Nelson, and Paige now. So that's directly from the last season of Daredevil. And then they're back in the bar that they used to go to all the time. This was a frequent bar in the Netflix shows. And they're having a good time and shit. They're drinking and shit. You know, Karen trying to get the Daredevil D, but he's like, no, you're a friend. And they're about to, Foggy is about to get, he's about to hook up with the girl that's in the future going to be Matt Murdock's new business partner. But then after that, Foggy gets a phone call with somebody he's representing. I don't recall who it was, but he was representing somebody, and he had them as a hideout at his fucking house. Foggy, that was stupid as fuck, but Foggy, you still my nigga. So that happens. Then Bullseye, aka Benjamin Poindexter from the last season of the Netflix show, he go in and he, you know, convinces him, I would say, to tell him where the fuck Foggy's location is. So now, this shit was crazy. This shit was nuts, bruh. This shit was, I would have I ain't gonna lie, I would have liked it more if they would have just kept some of the effects and the practical effects out, and they were just throwing hands and shit, like in the Netflix show. That's why I say I kind of like more in the Netflix shows is the actual fight scene, because I don't like all the effects and the CGI and shit. I don't like that. When it was more gritty and focused, and you see the hand to hand, even though there were some, like, you know, mistimed shots with, like, you remember when, you know, Daredevil was punching the nigga in the head and he was completely missing, like that type of shit. But still, I like the real looking combat more than the CGI looking shit. Hopefully it's not for the whole rest of the season, but it looked like it might be. So he gets the location, but Daredevil, he was going to the hideout to look for the dude because he thought he got killed by Bullseye. But no. Bullseye tricked the nigga, and Bullseye on the rooftop, and then boom. Ben Poindexter kills Foggy. Oh my god. Oh, this is crazy. He shoots Foggy straight in the face. Oh, well, not in the face. He didn't shoot Foggy in the face. I'm sorry. He shoots Foggy straight in the chest. Then he starts just rampaging through the bar. He just started going crazy. And Ben Poindexter, if you don't know, that is Benjamin Poindexter from the final season of, you know, Daredevil, where he was crazy obsessed with certain girls and stuff, and he had like a weird obsession with certain girls. And then he was a fed. And then he was an undercover fed for Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. Then Kingpin killed one of his girls that he really liked. He killed one of his girls that he really liked to manipulate Ben Poindexter into going on his side. And then Kingpin had all of the FBI behind his back at the last season of Daredevil. So when, you know, Ben Poindexter, aka Bullseye, he found out that, you know, Kingpin was on some bullshit, he went to go try to kill this motherfucker. And then they got in the fight. It was a three-way between Daredevil, Kingpin, and Ben Poindexter. And then that's when Kingpin ended up breaking fucking Bullseye's back. So at the end, and at the post-credits of the end of Daredevil, he has a metal exoskeleton. He got the metal exoskeleton in his body now. So he comes and he shoots Foggy straight up. And then after he's walking towards Karen, he's like, hey, Karen, I thought he was about to shoot the fuck out of Karen. I was like, oh no, this is getting extra crazy. They just gonna kill off the whole cast right now? But no, Daredevil comes, stops Bullseye. They get in a fight. Bullseye is fucking throwing hella fucking kunai and shit at fucking. He's dead ass darting the fucking out of Daredevil with these kunai. There's like 30 kunai in Daredevil's body. While he's doing that, he's fucking killing and murking everybody that's ran out the bar. Then they have this hallway scene where they're going up and they're fighting through the stairs and then onto the rooftop. uh, Bullseye goes out, and then you got this sick ass scene where Daredevil comes on top of the rooftop with the poles, and then after they start really fighting, and while they're fighting, Karen is talking to Foggy, and Foggy is having his laugh. This shit had me crying, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It didn't have me crying, but I dropped a tear because I knew this was gonna happen, but the way they did it was hella clever. Because well, I wouldn't say clever, but it gave you real emotion about the Foggy shit, even if you have not seen Daredevil. It hurt me even more because I am accustomed to Foggy as a character all the way to the beginning, and he is an integral part to the Daredevil series, like big time. He is a huge part of the Daredevil series. They show him, like gasping for air, and this shit was brutal. This shit was fucking brutal. And while he's dying, Matt is hearing this shit, and he's furious. So he's beating the shit out of Bullseye. He's beating the absolute shit out of Bullseye, and he asks him, like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And he just get fed up, and he throws Bullseye off the fucking building. I was like, oh! And then he falls flat on his face off the building, and I thought he literally killed Bullseye. I thought Daredevil killed Bullseye, and I was like, okay, now this shit about to get crazy. And then I was like, now I know the story arc. He's about to go in retirement because he threw away his code, and that was the whole thing with the final season of Daredevil, the Netflix show too, because he was like, forget the code, I was gonna kill Kingpin. Now he's like, really fuck the code, you just killed my best friend, now I'm gonna kill you. And he really actually did try to kill him, but Bullseye's exoskeleton saved him. So Bullseye is still alive. And then after that, we get this. Oh my god, this was fucking beautiful. They start on with the intro of the show, and it is a modified soundtrack and a modified version of the Netflix Daredevil intro. But instead of like the blood coming out everywhere, it is New York City crumbling with the modified soundtrack of the Daredevil theme song. This shit was peak. Oh my, this shit was peak, bruh. I was like, oh my, this shit is crazy. I'm like, this shit, I tweeted, oh well, no, I didn't tweet, but I texted my friends in the group chat. I said, we're 15 minutes in, this shit is already peak. I'm like, this shit is already peak. And it didn't end there. Because the main thing I liked about Daredevil and the original Daredevil show was the conversations and the talks. And we got a lot of this in the rest of this episode. So, at the end of the intro, they skip to 1 year. It's a 1 year time skip. Now, the person that Foggy tried to hook up with, now she is the partner with Matt Murdock. And Matt Murdock, Daredevil, he's up in life. He's not living in that fucking, by that roof and shit like he used to. No, this nigga is in now. He's like a legit lawyer now. Well, he's always been a legit lawyer, but he's a very successful lawyer now. And he goes in, and they're about to start the trial. Well, not the trial. We'll end the trial for Bullseye sentencing for killing Foggy Nelson. And he's shook about it. He's very upset. Karen Page somehow moved to San Francisco. I don't know if they just don't want her in the show, or I don't know. But Karen Page was living in San Francisco, and Daredevil was giving his testimony on how Bullseye should be in jail, and how anything that the law or the system do is never going to bring back the fact that Foggy, as an innocent man, got killed by this maniac Bullseye, Ben Poindexter. And, Bullseye's like, I don't give a fuck this shit. And he's been sentenced to life, and Daredevil looked a little upset about that. Oh, okay, so we move on from that, and you remember in the end of Echo, where the Kingpin, he's going to be running for president. So they're in the process of Kingpin running for president. And while in Hawkeye, when Kingpin got shot, that piece of shit. Oh my, that piece of fucking shit moment where Echo shot Kingpin. He was out there on the sidelines, and Vanessa was taking over all of his businesses. So now Vanessa is the actual Kingpin of New York, and while she's the Kingpin the actual Kingpin comes back, and he basically just letting her rock. And he's like, I'm not going to be doing the criminal shit no more because I'm trying to make New York City an actual safe place and make it, I don't want to say the, I gotta say it, make New York great again. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make New York great again. So he don't want no criminal shit associated to him, even though in the public, everybody already know he's got criminal shit with him. He's been arrested twice and all the other shit. So Vanessa's like, all right. So, man, they're starting the election thing, and it's good to see Tony Soprano's son in there. That was good. I really like that. That was a very good moment. Matt is with a new girl also. I don't know if I really care about that or not, because you know, Matt Murdock is with girls all the time. He is the man with the females in Marvel. That's just how it is. But I want to get to the conversation between Daredevil and Kingpin. So Matt understands that, you know, Kingpin he actually got a valid chance of actually winning the election for him becoming mayor. So he pulls up and he tells them to talk. So they pull up to the diner, and they have this conversation. And this was a very, very good conversation. I really like, because it gave me all of Kingpin's motive that he's going for this series. So they have a conversation, and they're going back about the history and shit. And the gist of it is, Daredevil is saying, as long as you're actually trying to make New York a good place and not trying to put in your criminal bullshit and try to make the system toxic and try to infiltrate the system, so you got like lackeys all around, we're fine. I don't got no problem with you, and you don't got no problem with me. But if I do feel like it's something coming towards that, I'm gonna be there as soon as possible. And then Kingpin, his rebuttal was, you liked it being on that roof with Ben Poindexter. You liked having control of the fight and having that his life was in your own hands. So he says, niggas are not about to be running around in costumes all over New York City. I'm about to put a stop to that. So that gives the motive. That gives me all of Kingpin's motive. Kingpin in this arc, his goal is to become mayor to where he can stop all vigilantes. He can just stop all vigilantes from having anything to do with New York City. And he's going to do whatever he can to stop it. So like military force, whatever. He's going to try to put an end to all this. And that got me interested because Spider-Man is still in New York City. What does Spider-Man have to say about that? But yeah. And so, after that conversation, Kingpin wins the election. So now it's official. Kingpin is mayor. And Vanessa is going to be taking over the Kingpin shit. And it's giving like a vibe that Vanessa is going to snake Kingpin in the future. Matt's not happy with that. Even though he said the shit, he's still not happy with that. And then it goes to a scene where Daredevil is looking and he's seeing the rise to the street, and people are actually like going crazy because Fisk becomes the new mayor of New York City. And it looks like I don't know, I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like a lot of shit is about to go crazy with him as a mayor. And it's another shot where Kingpin is looking down on the city. And that's how we end the episode of the first episode of Daredevil Born Again. Peak shit. There's a lot of details I did not say, and some I probably forgot to mention. If I did, I apologize. Let me know in the comments what was most important to you and what stuck out to you and what you liked the most about this. This episode was absolutely crazy. I love this episode. The first 15 minutes was fucking nuts. It was crazy shit. And I hope the rest of the episodes are just as good as that first episode. I know it's not going to be as long, which is a bummer. Because that first episode was like an hour. The next episode going to be like 37 minutes. Including the fucking credits, that shit going to be like 30. So, that's an amazing episode of Daredevil. The long-awaited return is justified now. Thanks everybody for watching. Like and subscribe, and let me know how you feel about Daredevil Born Again. Peace. I'm out.